Well, that was weird. Well, we're back at it again here today, guys. And yeah, I should be working on the semi, but right now this has got my interest, and I'm kind of waiting on a couple things on the semi, so we're gonna tinker with this some more. So this is that Goldwing that I picked up a couple days ago now, and let's see, since I last video, which albeit wasn't that long ago, it was yesterday. Whether this one goes up today or not, I don't know yet, but I did manage to get the starter out the rest of the way. Ended up popping the exhaust down, which is rotted off right there, which we'll see. Maybe that'll be where I adjust it to. But, so I confirmed starter's bad. It's all corroded inside, and actually to the point where you can't really take it apart much past confirming that. And then the solenoid itself is bad, so I have a new starter and solenoid coming. It should be here next week, so that'll be a little bit. But also through some research, which I don't have. Here's my flashlight. So, do some research. I realized, oh, these have timing belts. There's two of them actually, and so I found the belts. The belts look okay for now, for like a first start and everything. But I'm gonna end up changing those out. I got my cohort in mayhem because mom's off picking up the kiddo from school. So he's out here in the shop with me for a little bit today, just because he wanted to go outside. And it's raining. But so I took the front cover off though, and kind of confirmed belts are both intact and actually in okay shape for running and whatever. But I think, let's see, what else did I think that's just what I figured out. I'm gonna have to drain. There isn't much gas in the tank. I pulled the sending unit here out, and there's just a dribble in the bottom, so I'll drain that at some point here. But I think we're gonna take some of the stuff off that needs to come off for making ease of working on things. So first on the list, I think it's gonna be this fairing up in the front, just because there's some, I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but there's a ball of duct tape there, and there's a lot of wiry things that don't look, well, kosher. So we're gonna deal with that. I did notice it looked like the previous owner had wired in some like little light strips right here. There's two little small wires going. There's little like LED light strips, which is kind of cool, but that's gonna be, I think, coming off here. But we're at least gonna take, I think, the fairing off so I can get to some of that wiring issues up there. Try to get some of this stuff squared away so that when that starter comes, it'll be pretty much put it in and I can see if this thing will fire. Let's see. I've yet to check if there's coolant in it. Either I hope it's empty or it's got coolant in it. I really hope I don't see any water, because if we see water, well, she might be junk. But the fact that it spins over okay and there's no water in the oil that I've seen so far, it should be alright. The other thing we can do is take the carburetors off, because those are going to definitely need to get gone through. But yeah, I think I'm going to start putzing away at getting this fairing off first, so I can look at this wiring back here. And that looks like it's going to be, oh, I'm going to guess that's a 10 mil. Should be 4 bolts, I believe, usually. So 4 or 6 bolts to hold that on, and then the wires, and that should come off. So this one's a little simpler. Basically, the only thing in it's a headlight, and then there was this power point here. So previous ones I've messed with have had signals in them and everything, and then there's more wires to deal with. But I think we're gonna deal with that and get that off and see what it all looks like underneath. Alright, let's see how many wires this dog got. I got the bolts out. There's just 4 bolts, and then I got to plug the main harness, but the lights are still routed through here, which I thought was odd, but oh yeah, it's okay. So that's attached to there. Just there. So we're gonna assume those are there. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty good. We'll just leave the signals with that, because I think they're otherwise attached to is those extra side lights. There. Alright. So, as what I found before, is this is set up to have regular old headlights on it still. And then the signals would have mounted right there. That's where these little bad guys would mount. If those are the original, I think they are. But, oh no, they're not, because the original would have looked like these with the little slot in them. That don't really matter too much. Found one other thing that's missing is the Honda badge up here. So, yeah, this is where the wiring gets wonky, because I was curious about this. Ooh, I'm impressed. They did that right. They wrapped it in a baggie of plastic. So this wire is nice and clean. So we got our headlight plug, and then the rest of our signal wires. The factory signal wires, I guess. I got orange one that would go there, would it? Oh, those are both female ends. And then a blue connector, and yeah, okay, that wiring all looks actually pretty good. I was a little nervous about that. We got our factory headlight connector there. This harness goes back into here. Oh, okay. Oh, there's some of that gunk. And they have it tied into all the wires there. Which, that's not going to be, wouldn't be too hard to remove, so that's good. There's those wires. All that wire should be all factory. This side's got bolts. No, this side's got bolts, but they're broken off. Okay, that's why. I noticed this thing was pulling up, and I just wasn't sure why. I know the truth. Let's see if we can... Oh. I'll have to see if I can get in the radiator here. But, yeah, so these are little light bars that were installed in here. Kind of cool idea. I'm not sure if I quite am a whole fan of it, but kind of a cool concept. But yeah. Well, there's what it'd look, well, yeah, it's the fact there's no headlight or signals. What it'd roughly look like without a front fairing on it. But now I can go through, get to access to some of this stuff easier. You know, check wires and stuff like that for when it comes time to try starting it. Not too corroded, that's good. This is a pretty standard Vetter harness too. They're pretty consistently set up like this. And this is their auxiliary power wire they ran into there. Connectors. The voltage gauge actually worked. The other day when I hooked the battery up, it was working, so I was impressed about that. So, let's see. I suppose the next thing we could do is work on getting these carbs out. And then maybe getting my dog wrangled back in. Since he's off exploring in the shop and he's not really supposed to be. So, there's a breather hose here, runs down to this. Gotta take air cleaner out. These just get run out of the way like that. And he's up exploring, being almost 1 year old. Gotta explore everything. Yeah, so I gotta do that. I gotta disconnect the throttle cable and the fuel line and the choke cable. Throttle cables. It's a push-pull system, so there's a pull cable and a push cable, or there's a accelerate cable and a decelerate cable, so you can kind of force the throttle back down. Yeah, I just gotta disconnect this fuel line, which even their book suggests just taking it off here at the pump. Here's the two throttle cables, which look like they'll be fun to get to. There might be enough slack to slide them out part way and then disconnect them. There's a tack cable, I think. Tachometer cable runs right here. Yep. So tech cable runs off of this head over here. Interesting. There's that little lightweight cable. Runs down and around. Oh, that goes to this sensor here on top. Engine, the oil temp sensor. Or oil pressure sensor, whichever it is. What are you doing, dog? Oh, kids, I tell you. Especially the furry ones. But yeah, I think we'll work on that now. Same thing over here. Yeah. Pull that. Pull that. So we got 1 and 3, and these are original wires because they're still marked. You take these 2 bolts off. That can stay intact. You can loosen these clamps and rotate these if you want. Alright, so I started working on pulling the carburetors out. I ended up cracking the bolts loose. There's 4 on each side. But the mice have been in here, so I'm gonna pull the air filter out, and before I go any further, I got my shop back here and suck all this stuff up, suck that up, try to get this cleaned up a little more. I believe this piece, it's just those 2 bolts, comes up and out. That way the rest can go out the side. So I'm gonna get that super suckered out of there and we'll carry on. Alright, so working on this carburetor situation here. I got the 2 bolts out from here, and this is loose. We're gonna leave it there for now, so I don't have to pull. There's these 2 vent lines. There's one that from the crankcase up, and then this one goes down to a catch can down here, which the catch can was full of gunk. So gotta pull these 4 bolts out. I'm gonna try to do the throttle cables after I get it pulled out to the side here a little bit. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, so we'll see. But the other side's loose. I got the 2 bolts out. There are 4 bolts out, and on the other side already. So fuel line is most of the way free. So it's gonna need new fuel lines anyway. So if it doesn't come all the way free, I might just cut it. We'll see. Depends on if it behaves, I guess. All right, 2 more. There's that one. There it is. Alright. So I don't know how well I'm going to be able to video this while showing, but there's that. Alright, so that's... there goes that. Alright, let's see here. We got that. Ooh. Well, she tucked in there good, that's for sure. So I don't know what the best way about this is. This is your vent line. Get that up and out of the way. Oops, sorry. There we go. Alright, so this is our 2 throttle cables coming right here. I was hoping to be able to leave them in there, but it doesn't look like that's going to play nice. So I have to figure out what size those are, crack those loose so I can get off of their little retainers so I can slip the cable out. Alright, I'm going to work on that quick here. It's going to be hard to get camera in there with both my hands in, so. Alright, I'm going to start off with apologizing because I got ahead of myself because I was excited. So, starter showed up like 5 days early from when it was supposed to show, so I got that in. I bought it with a new starter solenoid, so I got that wired in. So, I got to clean the carburetors up a little bit. They, like I showed in the earlier clip, they look pretty decent. I'm going to try to make sure the passages are clean in them at least before I shove them back in. But I think in May here we're gonna try to get this thing running. That'd be a minute for you. It'd probably be like half an hour or so for me. But I want to see if this thing will turn over on its own. Whether that's a good idea or not, I don't know. But we're gonna do it. So yeah. So I made a mess because I put WD-40 in the cylinders yesterday after I got home from work, so I kind of just soak in and kind of loop things up, free anything up that was in there. And I kind of forgot how that was going to work, and when I turned it over with the wrench after I got the starter in, well, it made a mess. But that is what it is. So yeah. But I think I'm just going to turn the key and see what happens here. Hopefully it, hopefully it works. So, we got power there. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, that's interesting. All right. So, I'm going to go get those carbs cleaned up and, well, actually, better idea. Where's the spark plug wires? I'm going to take and see if we got spark. Stand by. I'll bring you back in a second here. Well, and not the best angle, but, well, I'm not showing you spark yet because we don't have any. So I got to take and go in here, and the points are, well, I should have figured nasty. So I'm going to do it the wrong way because I don't have the right way right now, which is you take a really, really fine sandpaper and you go like this, and you just make special point files, which I honestly have never used. Normally, I end up just using the old trick my dad taught me, which is what his shop teacher back in the day taught them, which is use like a 20 or some cash and take and fold it up, get a really nice inky spot, and then you use that to take and clean your points because it'll pull the carbon off without taking too much material off. Whereas doing it with like this is 400 grit sandpaper, which is even so probably right on the coarser end of where you want to be, because if you take too much off, then you got to readjust points, which isn't the end of the world, but it's just an extra step that ain't nobody got time for that. So I just got to make sure we got a decent clean surface. And let's see. Oh, I wonder if I can hook this up without hitting the camera. Nope. Well, there, that kind of works. Not really, but kind of. So, if I turn the key on, one of these should, this one actually. Yep, I heard it snap. That's good. That means we got point connection now. So now, we should see if I can get you guys set up in a spot where maybe you can see. Hopefully, I'm going to grab one of these plugs that looks cleaner-ish. Let's see here. Hopefully, with any luck, turn my light off. Ain't got nothing coming through that one, which doesn't. The plugs also might be just shot, but should be able to get something coming through. Alright, so I still don't got no spark. So I think I'm going to take and try to sneak. There's the two coils that run that. So I'm going to try to sneak the coils out and check those. See if we got juice from the coils. And go from there, I guess. Coils are good. Then there's some electrical doodads over there, some relays and whatnot I can check too and make sure we got power transferring. You know, we should have power going into the coils and all that stuff too. So yeah. And maybe I'll do that quick before I even do that, is check power going in. Make sure we got power going to everything. Alright, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but from a little tinkering here, we do have spark there now. So, but I only have spark out of one coil. So either I got a bad coil or I got to mess with the point some more. So we're getting somewhere here, but I gotta keep tinkering with it. I'm kind of leaning towards coil issue, or at least a boot issue, because with those boots, maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try switching boots around. But this one pulled out or whatever, and so I put it back in. I trimmed the one because it was still making connection. Without the boots, it was making connection like it was supposed to. I don't know. I'm gonna play with some more. All right. Well, it's been about a week since I've turned the camera on and worked on the motorcycle, and yeah, I've been plowing snow all week. It's been a long week, but we got some parts in, so we're gonna try to get some more stuff done here. We got some new points, and then I got two new coils in there for it. So we're gonna get the points slapped in quick. Those go in here. Crap, I'm gonna have to run into the house and get the book to find out what the point setting's at, or I'll just set them at what most points are, which is usually around 20,000 gap. Get points in, get the gap set, and then I'll swap out coils, and we'll see if we have spark on all 4 cylinders then, because right now we only got one working coil. So see if that fixes our problem. Yeah, I'm gonna run into the house quick and grab my book for this engine, and yeah, and grab that. All right, I don't know how well you can see, but points are pretty straightforward. In this case, you got 2 sets. You know, most of your common single coil engines, so like your older V8s and cars and stuff like that, 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, all that stuff, would just have 1. But because this is running 2 coils, you have 2 sets of points. This is the point end, that's the electrical end, where the wire hooks up, makes the electrical connection, opens up, breaks the connection, makes a boom, makes the coil energize, sends the spark out. Basically. Don't quote me, it's not exact. I'm just going off of kind of what I roughly know. But you got 2 screws that hold each one end. Take those out, disconnect the wire, and reattach it to the other one. It does matter which one goes where on these wires, because one is doing one coil, one's doing the other one. You hook them up backwards, you're going to have the wrong coil firing at the wrong time. This is a little cam here. So this one had the pressure off of it, so we're going to take this one out first. These are a royal pain in the butt, because they like using soft screws, but it is what it is. And all this stuff's small, and they're brass screws. And they have a cute little lock washer on them. So, try to do this without bumping you guys. And somebody's already been hitting you before. I think these points have been replaced. It's just that it sat for so long that it's not happy. Alright, so I got that. I have to take that off. Use the good old adjustable wrench here. See if we can get this thing. Oh, that worked. Oh, dang. There we go. Just like that. There's the old one out. And then I take one of these. There we go. New one to go back in. Where do they have? Where sits in there? So that can go on after the fact now. So take one of our screws. And actually, I think I'm going to go grab, I have a special screwdriver that'll grab those better. Or when you can't find said screwdriver, you just have a hemostat. That'll work. So all it's got to do is work. Yeah. So, sorry if my head's in your way. Ooh, no, that should work. There we go. I'll take the other one and very carefully try to get it in its little hole. There we go. And this junction, there's no point to tighten it all the way down. And then you take this, get it in there. Maybe kind of, sort of. There we go. I'd like it on the other side of that washer. There we go. That's where I wanted it. Alright, so I'm going to see if I have a teeny tiny wrench for that. It should be a 5mm wrench, but I only got a 6. So, you know, you got to work with what you got sometimes. On that side of that. Doesn't fit on that side. There. That should work. And this is what sucks about dealing with points, is small screws and pieces. Other than that, they're pretty tough. So now, I'm gonna line up. Oops, sorry. Line up for the approximate peak. Only turning the engine the one way. So I'm gonna get in your way for a second here. That's actually pretty good right there. So now we take our feeler gauge, which turns out it's anywhere from 12 to 6 or 12 to 18. So you move this around. This one's actually going to behave. So you get that to fit in there like that. And then you very carefully snug these down. There's that one. Now I'm going to be in your way again. Well, here, let's see if I can watch it. You watch this. The rotor, the whole cam is moving, be counterclockwise. And then as this leaves, that upper point shuts, and then this one should start to open. Oh, right there. So yeah, here we go again. Slide this in here. Oh, that one's actually... Now make sure too you're not pressing on the rotor at all when you're doing this. You're pressing the thingamabob, the armature over. So there we go. So now those points should both be set. Double check. Yep, that works. So now I should be able to put this cover back on. Well, it feels like it's not going to collide with anything. It should be good. Snug these up, then I gotta pull the old coil assembly back out, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but it's not too bad. It could always be worse. At least I don't need special tools to get it out, I guess. Oh, that should work. Alright, so now I need a 10mm. Grab you guys, hopefully show you. So this is the wire to the coils, and here's the one end of the bolt, and then this side's easier to see. And I was playing around with stuff in here, so you gotta take that bolt out, and there's actually technically a bolt down there. I only have the one end right now because the coil I was trying would not work with two. So yeah, I'm gonna get that out of there, and we're gonna get this swapped around. All right, well, I kind of got ahead of myself, and oh, there, got a little wonky. I got one with the wires down and one with wires up to make it fit on the bracket. Got it all wired up, and got these boots on. I'm gonna put these ones on. I got the battery, and I got some spark plugs. Spark plugs came out of it, but we're gonna see if we got spark now. So yeah, hopefully we do, because that'd be awesome. I'm gonna set you guys up, and I'll put these two boots on and throw a plug in. Yeah, I think you can kind of see. You can see a whole bunch of stuff in the shop. You can hold back of the semi. Oh, and this spark plug boot. I gotta trim these wires down. I just want to see before I go through the work of all trimming the wires down. If it works, it works. Cool. If it doesn't, well then I guess I can use the boots on something, these spark coils on something else. There we go. Mainly just want to see if we got spark. Come on. Come on. Oh, what the heck? Alright. We're going to cheat on this one because this one's misbehaving. So that. There we go. They basically have little screws molded in on the insides of these, so it makes them kind of nice for putting together. Also, if they don't go together right, you got another spot of maybe I don't have spark because of that, maybe I don't have spark because of that. But let's see. Oh, that's spark. Where's the other two I was using? I don't know where my other two spark plugs I had went. There's that one. I guess. See, grab those other two plugs. I think one of those would work better than that one. That one's not very clean. Oh, there they are. Let's see. Grab this one too. Put a plug in there. Honestly, I only have to actually check one side in all technicality because the way these work. Each plug is working off of each coil, so. Oh, come on. Work me here. Oh, let's see. That might be enough ground. Turn that off. Oh. Hook this on, hopefully without moving you guys too much. Maybe. There's that work. And that's probably right in your way, but whatever. Alright. Alright, we has power. And oh, I got spark. This one's being a little wonky, but yep, I got spark on all four now. I should. Alright, well that fixed that problem. So now, I'm actually not going to trim those till I get the carbs back in, just because I don't want to trim them too short and then not be able to route them. Well, here, I'll try to get you guys so you can see here quick. So, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see, because, you know. There you go, spark. So, now I need to clean those up a little more. And yeah, get those shoved back in there. So that way I can take and hook everything up. And it should go pop, 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 and run. Yeah. Alright. This is going to end up being where we end for now. I got that one fuel line and the fuel filter replaced for something to do, but I got to find these. It's just an O-ring, but it's an oddball, seems to be an oddball size. It doesn't match up the O-rings that I have in the kit I have, so I'm going to do some looking, see what I can figure out. I'll have to get some O-rings because these two, one I don't know where it is. I think these two both disintegrated because these are off this side, so cylinders be 2 and 4. So I don't really want to put it on without that because kind of need that to seal and actually work right. But this will be where we end because of that right now. I really wanted to get it running, but I was gonna try to make this a will start, but it won't start yet. Well, we'll just say will it start? No, not yet. So yeah, so I gotta get those up and then we'll order it up and then get carbs on and we'll run some fuel to it and see if it'll at least fire. Yeah, that'll be in the next one, I guess. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and go find yourself something fixed.